Hi friends, welcome to my channel, and today in this video I am going to show you how to install System Center Orchestrator 2019. So we have done the installation of like almost everything. We have done the installation for System Center Data Protection Manager, System Center Configuration Manager, Operations Manager, Service Manager, other things. So now in this video we are going to focus on the installation of System Center Orchestrator 2019 step by step full. So you can see the orchestrator is basically a tool which require multiple thing like SQL database is required. It's require a runbook server, management server, web services. It's required few basically component to have orchestrator running and functional. So we are going to basically install everything like orchestrator web services, orchestrator runbook designer, management server, runbook server and orchestrator database server, everything on single server. But if you are doing in this production environment, I recommend you to design your orchestrator environment to have on multiple servers, so it can provide you better performance, and also it's going to provide you some kind of fault tolerance if anything goes wrong with any particular server. Like management server, you have all other servers are not going to impact with the same. So design as per your requirement. If you are running a large environment, then definitely you can host the each services on dedicated server. And if you are running a small environment like a small environment or doing a POC or lab, then definitely you can install everything on one server. So orchestrator is basically, you can say, the automation tool from Microsoft, which provide you to design some solution as per your requirement. So it's having very big in big you can say the environment where you can design your solution and you can test it, and once the testing is done, you can deploy those solutions on the your production environment. So I'm giving you easy example here. You can see it's going to monitor some event log, and then it's going to get a process status, and if on the basis of process environment process status, you can end the process, or you can run any particular program, or you can say the command or PowerShell script or any other script, and then you can definitely, once the script is done or a command is done, you can send the email. So this is a simple example, but you can do the very complex level automation in orchestrator as well. So we will see how we can do that, but in this video we are going to totally focus on installation of orchestrator 2019. So here is my lab environment. Basically I'm going to use two servers in this demo environment. So first one is my Active Directory and DNS server. You can say win2k19 dc01, and my domain name is labsandson.com. so this is my Active Directory and DNS server. So if I go here, you can see Active Directory and DNS server is running on this machine, and win2k19 dc01 and labsandson.com. so this is my domain controller basically. And the second machine is going to be my orchestrator 2019 server, where basically I'm going to install all these roles like runbook, orchestrator, web services, database, which is going to be SQL server, management server, and runbook designer also. So I having 8 gig of memory at this machine, and machine name is win2k19 orch orchestrator, and I have basically this is freshly installed machine. And if I go and show you, I have just deployed this machine and join in my domain, configure the IP address and join in my domain. So you can see this is in labsandson.com domain, and I have logged in on this machine by using one of my domain account, which is basically, you can say, the service account for orchestrator. So if I type here who am I, you can see I am labsandson orchestrator admin. So this is going to be a domain account which I'm going to use as a service account also. And if you are doing this in production, then definitely you can configure multiple service account for each services on different servers. So and I have done the Windows patching on this machine. So basically this machine is ready to go for the action and for the installation of orchestrator 2019. So this is the system requirement for the System Center Orchestrator 2019. So you can see the all server roles require minimum 2.1 gigahertz processor with dual core CPU and 2 gig of memory, which is minimum, and 200 MB space for the installation of the orchestrator. And apart of this, you can do the installation of server operating system. Basically these roles you can install, like Runbook Server, Management Server, you can do on Windows Server 2016 and 2019 with all standard and data center, but you must be a GUI server, which is desktop experience. And client you can install on Windows Server 2016, 2019, and as well on Windows 10. And for the software requirement, you can see here Microsoft SQL Server 2016 and 2017 is supported by Orchestrator 2019, and you can see here this is going to be support the this default installation for the collection for the SQL Server. And then you need information Microsoft Internet Information Service, which is IS, also known as web services. So if this is not installed, Orchestrator setup will enable. If this is not enabled, so this is automatically going to be taken care. And Microsoft.NET Framework 3.5 Service Pack 1 and Microsoft.NET Framework 4. So these are the some software and hardware requirement for the having the installation for the Orchestrator 2019. So now I'm going to do the step-by-step installation for the System Center Orchestrator 2019. So you can see I have divided this installation in 5 parts. So first 3 part is going to be a pre-request installation, and fourth step we are going to install the System Center Orchestrator 2019 itself, and then last part we are going to do the validation for the Orchestrator 2019 installation. So let's go on step 1. So I'm going to install the SQL Server 2017 with database engine service only. So I have already mounted the SQL Server 2017 installation media, so I'm going to run it. And from the SQL Server installation center, I'm going to click on install and then new SQL Server standalone. So if you're having all SQL Server environment in your organization, definitely you can use it, and if you don't have, you can go ahead and install it. So I'm going to install this SQL Server 2017 is evaluation mode, since this is a lab. So click next, then I accept the license term, click next, and one more time next. And this is going to do some check scan for the product updates and other things. So this is going to be a pass, and we have some warning with the firewall, so we can ignore it. Click next, and here we only require database engine service, nothing else. So click next, and then Microsoft SQL Server is going to be a default instance name I'm going to use. So click next. So now we need to provide here the logon service name for the SQL Server database engine. So I'm going to provide both as a labs hands-on Orch admin, which is Orchestrator admin, and I'm going to provide the password for this account, and same for this as well. This is going to be database engine service, and grant access grant rights for the perform a maintenance. Click next, and I'm going to add my current account, which is Orchestrator admin, to have a administrative right on database engine. So click next now, and now we are ready to go. We are just going to click on install, and this will install the SQL Server 2017. So since this is installation is running, I'm going to install this .NET Framework 3.5. So I'm going to click on manage, and then add role and feature. So click next, and here I'm going to on a features page, I'm going to install .NET Framework 3.5 feature, and this is going to be included, and just click next, and now need to click on install. So this will install the .NET Framework 3.5. So both the installation is running, so this is going to take some time. And meanwhile, I have already downloaded the uh, Microsoft Management SQL Management Studios, SQL Server Management Studio. So you can see here. So before it was coming with the SQL Server setup itself, but now Microsoft releasing is as a separate. So I have downloaded here. Also, I have downloaded the Orchestrator 2019 setup. So I'm going to extract this setup and copy it in C drive. so we'll need it to run once the we are on step 4. So I'm going to extract it. So click next. You can see welcome to the System Center Orchestrator 2019. So I'm going to accept it, and I'm going to extract in C drive. So just click on extract, so it will extract the files in C drive. You can see it's coming here, and extraction is done. So I'm going to click on finish, and now I'm going to delete this setup from here since we have a structured setup now. So SQL Server installation is about to finish. Now you can see everything is done, installation successful, we got everything succeeded. So now I can go ahead and close this, and close this as well, and now we can unmount the installation media for SQL Server 2017. And now I can go ahead and run the installation for the Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio. So I'm going to run it. So this is very simple installation. We just need to click on install. So this will begin the installation. This is simple one-click installation for Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio, and I'm installing the release 18.6. So now this installation is going to take some time. So I'm going to pause the recording here. Once the installation is done, I'm going to resume from there. So now you can see both .NET Framework 3.5 is done. So we can go ahead and close this, and also SQL Server Management Studio is done. So I can go ahead and reboot the server. So once the reboot is completed, we will proceed with the Orchestrator 2019 installation. So just waiting to get this machine rebooted. So soon we will get the so we are good to log in now. So now I'm going to run the setup. So in a C drive we have folder called System Center Orchestrator 2019. So I'm going to run the setup orchestrator file here. So now, so you can see the service management. Also you can install the different things. So I'm going to click on install. Also you can go ahead and like read some article related to Orchestrator. So if you go here, you can see the different pages is given, like everything is written here, like what is the requirement, and design it, workflow, runbook, and everything is written related to System Center Orchestrator. So you can go ahead and read this article, and if you can also go ahead and read like other some documents like um, related to this orchestrator. You can see the deployment guide. So I recommend you to go ahead and check out these links, so you will get the good, you can say, the understanding about the orchestrator and how to design your infrastructure as per your requirement. So I must recommend you to go and check out these before you install, so it will help you in designing the orchestrator in best possible way for your infrastructure. So now click on install. So this is going to basically run the installation wizard. So I'm going to type here Vicasing and labs hands on. So I'm going to install this in evaluation mode. So if you don't provide a key, this is going to be installed in evaluation edition. So click next. I accept the license terms, click next. Diagnose on users data, click next. And what services you want to install. So as discussed in first slide, you can see here now we are getting these options to install, like management server, runbook server, orchestrator console, and web services, and runbook designer. So these are the components which we have already discussed. So I'm going to install everything on one server. So click next. Now it's going to check your some prerequisites. So you can see setup will install these missing software requirements. So I just need to click on it, so it will automatically install these uh, like features which is missing. Basically IIS it's going to install. So click next, And now you can see preparing and configuring .NET and IIS role and feature. So soon you will see here the IIS is going to be installed. So this is going to take few seconds, and then it will proceed with the installation once we are good from the prerequisite point of view for the Orchestrator 2019. So it will take some time to give you the further screen, you can say, for the proceeding with the database and other configuration. So just wait for few seconds, or maybe few minutes, depending on the speed of your machine. So now if I go here on server manager, you can see we have now IIS installed. So this is good thing, the automatic installation is done. I guess it's going to do some configuration now. So now you can see all prerequisites are installed. So the setup has done its automation for the installing few applications. Now you can go ahead and click next. Now it will ask you to configure the service account. So I'm going to use my domain account, which is basically org-admin, and I'm going to provide the password for this account. And you can see domain name is already selected, so I'm going to just click on test. So credential accepted, click next, and now configure the database server. So now we have installed the database on this server itself. So I'm going to provide the name of local server, and if you have installed on some other server, you can go ahead and do that. And also you require to pass the credentials. So I have this account like org-admin as having the access to this account or this database. So you can say database connection is succeeded. So click next, and now DB name you can see we need to provide. So I'm going to give org DB, you can say. And if you're having existing database, this one, if you have a pre-installed like database, or you have existing database for the orchestrator, you can define that name. And if you don't have, go ahead and create new one if you are installing the first time. So click next, and now orchestrator user group, which account you want to have a administrative access to orchestrator. So I'm going to use my current account only to give orchestrator administrator rights. So org admin. Okay, so we need to select here, we need to provide the group basically. So you can see here we can provide only group, we cannot give the username. So I'm going to create one group in my Active Directory. So just going on my India OU, and then I'm going to create one group called org-admin, org-admins, and this is going to be security and globals. And now I'm going to add my org-admin account on this group. So you can see here I'm going to add this, just click OK, and now we can go ahead and add this account. So browse and go to domain and org admins. You can see now we have added this, and grant remote access to Runbook Designer. I'll leave the default and click next. And now you can see the configure the port for web services. Web service port is going to be 81, and orchestrator console port is going to be 82, which is given on this screen also. So now go ahead and click next, and leave the installation path default, and turn on Microsoft on update on as recommended. And if you want to help in improvement, so this is demo, I'm going to not participate. And this is the final installation summary, which what we are going to do during this installation. So now click on install. So this will go through each step, and it will finish the installation for orchestrator. And once the installation is done, you will see everything like Runbook Designer, Runbook Server, everything is going to be installed. So now I'm going to launch basically Management Studio to verify the database is going to be created or not. So, and show you how the database is going to be look like. in SQL Server Management Studio. So now you can see Management Server and Runbook Designer is done. Now it's going to install Orchestrator console and web services, and following with these configurations. So first time this Management Studio going to take some time, so wait for it. Now we are going to use the Windows authentication, which is our local administrator, basically the user which we have already logged in, which is org-admin. So click on connect, and now if I expand, you can see we don't have any database created yet. So database is going to be created here when we have a database configuration step. So you can see top 3 things are done, and installing the Runbook server now. So the overall installation is not going to take more than 10 minutes, at least on my machine. So sometime if you have provided the less configuration to this machine, and less, you can say, the hardware configuration, CPU and memory, then it will take more than 10 minutes, but generally it does not take more than 10 minutes. So for me it's only taken 3 to 4 minutes, and you can see setup completed successfully. And now if I go here and just refresh this, you can see my org DB is created, and the initial size for this database is going to be a very small. It's only 16 MB, you can see. So this is good, and this is our collection which we have already discussed in pre-requirements here. So this is our SQL Server collection. So this is good, database is good. And now you can see here, launch the Windows update, we don't need. Visit the System Center Orchestrator online, we don't need. And when setup close, start a Runbook Designer. So I'm going to do it just to show you. So now you can see here we have all, like restart system, run program, run SSH. So everything is there. You can plan, you can schedule, file management, email notification, utility. So everything is here. You just need to, you can go ahead and design your basically you can say the runbook here. So now if I open the Orchestrator console, we might need to install the Silverlight if it's not installed. So just wait for this to be installed. So I'm going to close this. Now I'm going to click on again, and you can see we have installed on Evaluation Edition for 180 days trial. Now you can see here a runbook, basically console where you can see all the like jobs and everything related to System Center Orchestrator 2019, and you can also see the events, whatever events you have in Orchestrator. So you can see there were multiple things which you can do by using the Orchestrator, and you can create a computer group and do all the automation related to your infrastructure on System Center Orchestrator 2019. So this is all about the installation of System Center Orchestrator 2019. So thank you for watching, and please subscribe me for more videos. Thank you once again. Bye bye.